Welcome back to Just Chattin', and this is the series of videos we do on Thursday and Sunday evenings just for our own entertainment. So for all you Audie fans, I have no idea where he is. He is around here somewhere, but I went out. I had an appointment this morning. I had to go, and I don't think Audie has forgiven me yet for abandoning him, because I come back from my appointment and he's nowhere to be found. He is punishing me, and the way Audie punishes is by denying me the pleasure of his company. So he's sulking around somewhere. He will eventually turn up. Sooner or later, his desire for cuddles or cat treats or fresh water out of the bathroom sink is going to win out over his desire to see if he can make me really, really sorry for abandoning a poor cat. We'll have to see. All right, we're going to take a quick look at the intro, and we will be right back. So, unless you happen to be living under a rock, I'm pretty sure you don't need me to tell you that the mainstream media has been buying in to the Sussex public relations machine by playing into this will they, won't they game. Are they going to show up in the UK? Are they going to bring the putative children? Where are they going to stay? Will they be staying in a royal residence? Are they instead going to stay at Althorp? And that, by the way, is the home of Diana's brother, Charles. I should quickly interject here. Diana called her brother Charles Carlos in order to differentiate between her brother Charles and her husband Charles. So when I talk about Charles Spencer, I'm going to call him Carlos. That's what Diana did, and that's who he is in my mind when I think about him. And again, it goes back to Diana's nickname for him. So, are they going to stay at Althorp, which is now in the possession of Diana's brother Carlos? Are they going to visit the grave? Oh my goodness, that's in really, really poor taste, but the media is in fact speculating on this. So let me just throw this out, because I have to say, I don't think there is the slightest possibility that Carlos is going to permit them to go to the grave with a film crew in tow, which of course is what Nutmeg is going to want. There's already a great deal of talk about Nutmeg and the sock puppet bringing a film crew. Is it going to be a whole film crew? Is it going to be secret filming by their aides or security people? Who knows? But I would have to say that if they do show up, are they going to be filming? Sure they are, because this is what they do. This is, in fact, their brand. It's like, yes, whatever goes on, we're going to do it in front of a film crew, and we're going to throw it out on social media. It's who they are. I would also have to say that if they did happen to manage to get any photos of Diana's grave, and those photos went public, and if they got them, they would go public, that would sever Harry's relationship with the Spencer family. I don't know them personally, and I can't say I have inside information, but I know that Carlos Spencer has protected his sister's grave. He has stated he does not want it to become a tourist attraction. And it is secluded. You can't even walk there. Apparently you have to take a boat to get there. It's like on an island somewhere. Would he be okay with this? No. I don't think there's any doubt about that at all. But that's one of the many things that are being tossed about by the mainstream media. Now, I have no idea how much of this is true. I do not believe at this point very much of it is. I think Nutmeg and the Sock Puppet are just reveling in the publicity they're getting from all this speculation. Their names and faces are on the front pages. And that's good enough for them. Well, good enough for Nutmeg anyway. That is what she loves. But here's the thing, and this is the part the mainstream media is sort of dusting under the rug. There's a reason for this, because Nutmeg and the Sock Puppet are among the least popular British royals. So let me just show you the actual figures, and we're going to see it in a chart, so you're going to be able to make your own opinions of this. Now, this information is from the YouGov poll from April 2026. And as you can see at the top of the chart, the two most popular royals are the late Queen, followed fairly closely by Princess Diana, both of whom are dead. And my goodness, that says a lot about the opinion of the British people regarding the royal family. And then followed behind by William, Catherine, and Anne, and in that order. And then we have a bit of a gap, and we go down to popular, but not amazingly so. We have Charles, we have Philip, and Philip is dead too. We have Edward, and then at the bottom of the heap, we have Camilla, Harry, Nutmeg, and Andrew. Wow. Now, additionally, at the bottom of that poll, there is information indicating that the royal family is still retaining popularity and the institution of monarchy is still retaining popularity. But here's the thing. When you look at the bottom of that list, Camilla, Harry, Nutmeg, Andrew, it's very clear that a little more focus on the bottom tier can easily pull those numbers of support for the royal family and for the institution of monarchy down. It strikes me, and by the way, I've seen polls like this in all kinds of fields, so I do know how to read them in trend spot. When your two most popular royals are dead, that's telling me so much about where your place in the hearts of the people really is. And it's more a question of the people have a warm, fuzzy feeling, and it's based on emotional input rather than an actual well thought out rational view of what's going on. Camilla's near the bottom of the heap because she is and has been blamed for the destruction of Charles's marriage to Diana. She gets more blame than Charles does, but that's always the way. Nutmeg and the Sock Puppet, they have constructed their own little coffin with their own little hands, as has Andrew. And interestingly enough, seeing the four of them at the bottom of the heap gives me a lot of sympathy for Camilla, who has, whatever it is, Camilla did or did not do, and I was not a fly on the wall, so I do not know exactly how much of a part she played in the dissolution of Charles's marriage. But I will say this, that when she's thrown in with the other three, that just seems a little unfair to me, but hey, these are people's opinions, and people get to have the opinions they want. So when you look at these figures, you realize Nutmeg and the Sock Puppet desperately need some kind of popularity boost, and that's what this proposed UK visit is for both of them. trot along the mythical invisible children, and hey, the numbers may creep up. But again, and I said this before, I will say it again, I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think that the putative children are going to be showing up. And we've discussed the reasons already. And by the way, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What do you think? Do you think they're not going to show up? Do you think they are going to show up? And give me your rationale. But I will say that there is no question but that Nutmeg and the sock puppet desperately need a little injection of something. I don't know what it is they're trying to inject. Popular PR, who knows? But they do need an injection of something because they are circling the drain. The polls are making that very clear. And by the way, their numbers, I believe these are their numbers in the UK. Their numbers in America are not that much better. So when we start to look at this, it's obvious that they are grasping at straws to try to pull the fat out of the fire. Everyone is speculating that what they really want is photographs of Charles with the putative children. But here's the thing. If Charles allows any photographs at all, it's tacitly acknowledging that Nutmeg and the sock puppet have free rein to merchandise their titles. It would be tantamount to giving his consent, tantamount to saying, here are your pictures, sell them. Because we all know that is what they want. They want the photos, not just of the putative children with Charles, but they want the photos of themselves with Charles. They need to be perceived as crawling back into that royal fold. Same thing with royal residences. Depending on what has been offered to them, and by the way, as you will see in some of the articles, in the video notes, I have not been able to find any concrete information on where they have been invited to stay if they show up, just that they have been invited to stay in royal property. But that could be anything. I mean, let's face it, they could be invited to share Andrew's little residence at Marsh Farm. Who knows? But they have clearly been invited to stay somewhere. And that alone might, in fact, be enough to give them that aura of royal family acceptance, which then will be, well, it will be spun to indicate that the royal family approves of them and everything they're doing. So royal family slaps their imprimatur on Nutmeg and the Runny Jam and the Instagram account. So now that we're at the Instagram account, let's take a look at this, because I have to say, this one really struck me as a perfect example of why it is the public is rejecting Nutmeg. And by the way, I doubt very much she's listening to these videos, so I don't have to worry about giving her advice. But the fact is that Nutmeg's problem is she is absolutely disingenuous. Everything she does is curated to the point where it not only looks staged, it looks like meticulously stage managed to the point where any shred of reality has been bled out of it. So she recently dropped this Instagram post that is showing her with a trug full of veggies from what we are supposed to infer is her garden. And of course, trug full of veggies, all cleaned up. It's supposed to look like she's just picked them out of the garden because, yeah, Nutmeg is magical. And when she plucks a carrot or a tomato, there's not a speck of dirt on it. And she can do it in a pair of white trousers without a speck of dirt on the trousers either. people are pulling this apart left and right. I have to say the first thing I noticed about this was the inclusion of apples, because this isn't apple season in Southern California. I know they have a long growing and harvesting season, but yeah, apples, no, not so much right now. So people are widely saying, oh, look at her little basket of store-bought veggies. But then at the end of this little production of look at my veggies, we see her striking one pose after another because, hey, we've all got to appreciate the fact that this middle-aged woman is a sex symbol. Like, oh, for heaven's sake. And the problem with all of this is we look at this and we see nothing real, nothing authentic, anything that might have been real, and I don't believe anything ever was, has been completely bled out of it. People look at these pictures, and even if they don't bother to look up apple production in Southern California or anything like that, they know something is off, something is wrong. They see it and they are aware of the fact that the photos are lying to them. So what do they walk away with? They walk away with the impression that they are being deceived, they are being manipulated, they are being lied to. And that, I think, is the biggest reason Nutmeg has been rejected by the public, because the public not only doesn't trust her, but we're like way beyond just little bits of don't trust, moving into the next level of what is her motive in lying to us like this. That sort of almost bordering on paranoia levels of distrust. One looks at her actions and doesn't just blow it off saying, oh, well, she's just presenting something false, which is easy for us to do with social media influencers. Oh, yeah, they're just advertising their brand. They get paid for this. With Nutmeg, we tend to ramp it up to the next level and ask ourselves, what is she hoping to get out of selling this bill of goods to us? And then it starts to raise the hairs on the back of your neck. So I would have to say, yeah, definitely the brand is in huge, huge trouble. Nutmeg absolutely needs someone with a background in PR to come in and curate her public image for her, because if she were doing anywhere near a halfway decent job of it, she would not be at the bottom of the popularity polls, second only to Andrew, a person that most of the British public would be happy to see behind bars. So yeah, definitely in need of some professional help here. Okay, anyway, that is what I have for you today. We are going to take a look at a slideshow on the way out. I hope to see you all next time. And thank you for being with us, and have a terrific day.